Have you ever found yourself constantly thinking about the future? Worrying about what might happen and putting pressure on yourself over things that haven't even occurred yet? If so, you're not alone. Many of us spend a significant portion of our lives consumed by questions. What if things go wrong? What if I fail? What if I'm not prepared? But the truth is, the future hasn't arrived yet, and the only thing that truly exists is the present moment. If you're always preoccupied with what's coming next, you're missing the opportunity to truly live. Why is it difficult to stay in the present? Our minds are wired to plan, anticipate, and analyze risks. This was useful for our ancestors who needed to survive in unstable environments. However, in today's world, where most of our stress comes from work, relationships, and personal goals, this constant worrying has become a burden rather than a protective tool. The irony is that worrying about the future doesn't actually change it. It only robs you of your peace in the present. How many times have you been anxious about something only to realize later that it wasn't worth the stress? Or imagine the worst case scenarios only to find that things turned out fine. The reality is that worry doesn't give you control, it only takes away your happiness. The illusion of control. Many people who excessively worry about the future and try to plan every detail believe they have full control over their lives. They think that by making precise plans, they can guarantee their desired outcomes. But the truth is, no one has complete control over life. No matter how much we plan, unexpected events will always occur, and when we refuse to accept this fact, we only increase our own suffering. Yes, we should be responsible and put in effort to achieve our goals, but we must also understand that if something doesn't happen, it's not necessarily because we failed, it's because it wasn't meant for us. Even if we don't understand why things didn't go as planned, we often realize the wisdom behind it later. There was a time when I planned everything meticulously. I always had plan A, plan B, and even plan C, thinking I could control my future entirely. But in a moment of extreme anxiety and overthinking, someone close to me said something that changed my life. They said, "Remember, if something is meant for you, it will happen. If it doesn't, then it wasn't the best for you, so there's no need to worry about it." This realization brought me a sense of peace I had never felt before. I understood that true freedom lies in trusting the process of life. When you realize that there's a greater force guiding your path, you stop carrying the burden of forcing things to happen. You understand that your role is to do your best, live in the moment, add value to the world, and let the rest unfold naturally. Embracing uncertainty in life. One of the biggest sources of stress and anxiety is our constant need for certainty. We want to know what will happen, how things will turn out, and we seek guarantees that the future will go exactly as we wish. But the truth is, life is inherently unpredictable, and we are not meant to understand everything right now. When we start accepting that uncertainty is part of our journey, we experience real peace of mind. Instead of fearing the unknown, we can see it as an opportunity for growth and development. Every experience we go through, whether good or difficult, shapes us in some way, making us stronger and wiser. Trusting God's plan. One of the most powerful ways to free yourself from anxiety is to put your trust in God. When you believe that a higher power is guiding you, you no longer feel the need to control every detail of your life. You will realize that even when things seem unclear, God has already planned what is best for you. There may be times when you strongly desire something and work hard to achieve it, yet it doesn't happen. In those moments, remember that God may be protecting you from something that isn't truly in your best interest. Even if you don't understand it right now, trust that everything is unfolding for your greater good. Letting go of the need to control everything. One of the biggest causes of anxiety is the desire to control every aspect of life. But the truth is, the future is uncertain, and no matter how much we plan, surprises will always come our way. Instead of fearing them, embrace them. Remind yourself, I cannot control everything, but I can control how I respond to the present moment. True freedom lies in living in the present. When you stop worrying about the future and start embracing the present, life becomes smoother. You laugh more, worry less, and enjoy each moment. You realize that happiness is not something you will find later. It is something you can create now. Take a deep breath, free yourself from unnecessary fears, and trust that life is unfolding as it should. Do your part, live in the moment, add value to the world, and the rest will come at the right time. The energy you emit comes back to you. When you exhaust yourself by overthinking every little detail and living in constant anxiety, you are emitting negative energy into the world. Remember, what you put out is what you attract. If you are always tense and expecting the worst, you are programming your mind to attract more negative circumstances into your life. This is evident in many people who live in a constant state of stress and fear, finding their lives filled with difficulties and challenges as if trapped in a never-ending cycle of obstacles. If you reflect deeply, you will realize that constant worry about the future changes nothing. It only drains your energy and steals your happiness. How many times have you been anxious about something, only to find out it wasn't as bad as you expected? Or perhaps it never happened at all. Yet, you wasted your time and energy thinking about it. This is the trap many fall into, believing that excessive thinking gives them control, when in reality, it only gives them more stress and anxiety. But when you remain calm, trust in the flow of life, and believe that a higher power governs this universe with wisdom, you begin to radiate positive energy, and in return, you attract more goodness and opportunities into your life. The key is not to neglect your responsibilities or stop striving, but rather to do what you can and then surrender the rest to the divine force that orchestrates everything. This trust is not just a feeling, it is a way of life that grants you an inner peace beyond measure. When you adopt this mindset, you will start noticing real changes in your life. Things will begin to fall into place in unexpected ways. Opportunities will come to you effortlessly, and the relationships that once caused you stress will either improve or be replaced with better ones. These are not coincidences, but direct results of the energy you put out into the world. When you live with tranquility and trust, you emit positive energy, and that energy comes back to you, multiplied. On the other hand, when you live in constant fear and anxiety, you emit low-frequency vibrations that attract more situations aligned with that energy. You might see people who constantly complain about their bad luck, as if the whole world is conspiring against them. But the truth is, they keep attracting these circumstances because they are focused only on the negatives and are trapped in a cycle of fear and worry. Life was never meant to be a constant struggle. We were not created to live in endless suffering. The keys to inner peace are always within our reach, and one of the most powerful ones is trust. Once you embrace this truth, you free yourself from unnecessary worries and start living in harmony with yourself and the world around you. You feel lighter, more focused, and less stressed. Instead of wasting your time worrying about the future, you begin to fully experience and enjoy the present moment. The ultimate peace comes from letting go. In the end, the greatest relief comes when you realize that you are not responsible for everything and that life is being guided by a force far greater than you. When you understand that everything happening, whether it seems good or bad, is part of a greater plan, you will experience a sense of peace beyond words. Tell me, what's something you kept worrying about only to realize after a while it wasn't worth all of that?